is separating the prosciutto. You've got paper thin prosciutto slices, and they're really hard to get them separated, even though they've got little bits of paper to help you. They're hard to get off. That's the hardest part of the recipe. So we've got our prosciutto laid out. We're going to lay our chicken on the prosciutto like that. And then we spread our filling on. The American recipe had a creme fraiche and tarragon recipe, but this is a favourite in our house. And at the beginning of term, I made it for some teachers for their staff development day lunch, and one of the teachers wanted to pay me to make it for home because she loved it. So we spread the stuffing on, and then it's just a matter of rolling it. So use your Glad wrap to help roll. And then secure it in your Glad wrap, nice and tight. And you create like a sausage. Now I double Glad wrap it because it still comes apart. The same with the meatloaf that's on the in the basic cookbook. I cut that in half, the meatloaf, and I Glad wrap that as well, because you lose all the cheese out of the meatloaf as it's steaming. I'll just chop them ends off. This recipe has a nice creamy garlic sauce that goes with it. I'm not going to make that tonight. I'll steam the chicken so you can see what that looks like. But I'm putting some potatoes in the steaming basket to steam the potatoes at the same time. And then towards the end of the steaming, you can add some other veggies, depending on how thick your veggies are, of what time you add them. So there's our roll. So that filling will make 4 rolls. So you can steam them all if you want now, or you can put them in the freezer ready to go when you want to have the chicken again. Because you just need to get it out and defrost it, and off it goes. So I'll put this one in. Put 2 down here and 2 up top. Now it takes 30 minutes to steam. I'm going to stop it halfway and swap them around so they get even cooking all over. I'm going to put our basket with potatoes in. Okay, veroma on top. So we're cooking it initially for 15 minutes on veroma temperature, speed 4, and then I'll swap them around after 15 minutes. So that's how quick and easy as they are.
Thank you, Sue. Thanks for that. And I've only just started I only just hit recording, but that was Sue making the chicken roulade with prosciutto from the recipe community, and we'll share that recipe with you all as well. And I was just answering a question to here on the chat. So Sue, you were saying about freezing. You can just have them frozen, just ready to go for when you want to use them.
Have them ready like that and put in the freezer. Then when you, because 4 chicken breasts is too much for my husband and I. 1 would do us for dinner, but then he might have some more because he's a big eater. But yeah, you can put them in the freezer ready for, and just to, label them and date when you put them in there so you know, and then pull them out when you're ready.
Fabulous. Thanks for that, Sue. Show us when it's done. Just give me a shout and we'll get back to you.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Sue. So now we're going to move over to Kirsty, who's going to show us the Chinese steamed egg sponge cakes.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. So these are the Asian collection on cookie dough.
Hang on. Let me just mute Sue.
Yep.
Oh, hang on. Mute. Done.
Yep. That's the Asian Heritage Collection on Cookie Dough. It's got some really nice cupcakes in there. They're all steamed. Some of them have got like your blue pea flours in there. You've got your black glutinous rice ones, yams. So this is like your traditional like Asian steamed cupcakes. Absolutely beautiful. And I've done these on a night where you just feel like that something extra after dinner. And these are really, really quick. And I'll show you how quick they are. So this is the recipe. We hit start cooking. Align cupcake molds with 6 cupcake cases. If you're lucky enough to be on the mix shop, we've got these beautiful ones. Just a quick spray, and that way you don't have to have your individual ones. And again, these go in the dishwasher. They're $15 on the mix shop, and they just sit in your VAROMA. We hit next 60 grams of caster sugar. So the true Thermomix style, I've just got my raw sugar, popping that in because we're going to mill it up. Insert your lid, and literally 10 seconds on speed 10. Might cut out a bit. All right, scrape down the sides with your spatula. If your bowl's really, really dry, you shouldn't have to. Just give it a good crack, and all your icing sugar is just going to fall down to the bottom, so you don't need to get your spatula out every time. Okay, 120 grams of eggs. So it's just 2 big whoppers. So I've gone through my eggs, and I've just found the biggest ones that I could. So that one's, 61 grams. 121. That's pretty close. I'm not taking out a gram. I'm sure there's probably a gram of eggshell. That'll be in mine. Insert the measuring cup. Okay, turn to speed 4, and it's just 1 minute, so that's going to whip it up a little bit. So should I talk for a minute? I probably can. So if in the chat, if you've done any desserts in your Thermomix that you've steamed, I know another great one is like your sticky date pudding. You do your individual sticky date puddings in there as well. Yeah, there's heaps of steamed cupcakes that you can do, especially on the Asian Heritage Collection. There's jump in and have a look. It's yeah. So also the Matt Sinclair, he does a really nice steamed banana puddings with the honey cream anglaise as well. So that's one of our demo dishes, or 2 of our demo dishes. So you do them together. It's 2 sides, and it's absolutely beautiful. And they're steamed, and the cream anglaise is amazing. You won't find a better sort of custardy flavoured dessert as well. So they're really nice. That's a real showstopper. So book a demo and do the steamed honey pudding, the steamed banana puddings. All right, so that's done. So yeah, I can talk for a minute. All right, so that's just literally blitzed it up. So you can see it's nice and frothy. You need it to be nice and frothy. And we're going to add 50 grams of milk. So just a quick tip. It's not going to hurt. 25 grams of vegetable oil. So this does help it to be a little bit lighter as well. You can use sunflower, corn, or soybean or canola oil as well. So you've got your different options there if you're a bit funny about using your vegetable oil. 120 grams of cake flour. So I've just used plain flour as well. So it's not too much. So this is perfect size for a set family of 4 or 6, and 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Insert your measuring cup and turn it to speed 5. It's 10 seconds. Okay, pour batter into prepared cupcake molds and arrange cupcakes in your VAROMA dish and tray. Sorry, you're not going to get anything quicker than that. I swear, it's beautiful texture. Make sure you scrape all the sides down and get all that mixed in. Try and get it on camera for you. Turn that around a little bit. All right, we hit next, clean mixing bowl. I'm so quick, look at that. I need to have a second one or a third. All right, so 500 grams of water. So you can just use boiling water and it'll save you a little bit of time. I don't think I boiled the kettle, so I'm just going to do my 500 grams of water. So quickly pop on my scales. Probably should have measured it out first. Oh, on the dot. There we go. All right, we hit next. Insert the measuring cup. Okay, and turn it to speed 1. So if you've boiled your kettle, you can skip that 6 minutes, but I think Sandra's going to go to the next person. So after 6 minutes, we hit next and it steams for, set veroma position, and it steams for 10 minutes. So if you've boiled the kettle while you're doing that, it's literally a 10-minute dessert, and it's so quick and so beautiful. But we'll be back shortly with the next one.
Thanks, Kirsty. I actually really want to try these. They just seem so quick and easy. 10 minutes to steam. How good is that?
If you've seen the steamed buns, if you've had the steamed buns before, you will absolutely love these. Like if you're a fan of like your pork buns and all that sort of stuff, these are the same sort of consistency, but they're sweet and they're just, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, yum. Okay. All right. Show us when they're done.
All right. I'll see you soon.
Okay. All right. Put yourself on mute. Thank you. Now we're going to move to Ilham, who's going to show us Mantou buns. Talking about steamed buns. Mantou buns with butternut squash soup. Over to you, Ilham.
Hi, everybody. I was just about to say thank you, Kirsty, for the introduction. I'm doing the steamed buns tonight. And so what I've already, due to time constraints, I've already made the dough. And you'll get the recipe anyway, the links to the recipe. It's on Cookie Dough. There's a couple of Mantou buns, but this one includes the butternut soup. But with that, let's just show you what the buns look like. The dough looks like. So it looks like this once it's made. Oh, by the way, I added white sugar instead of the brown sugar because I like our steamed buns to look more white than like a brownie hue. So you'll actually see on Cookie Dough, it's got more of a brownie color to it, but tonight's ones, you'll see what at the end product actually looks more like pale, more white than brown. So I know Kirsty always just rolls, I'll just put the camera down. Kirsty always rolls her dough into a log. I know the recipe says to actually roll it out. So I'll roll it out. And it says to roll it about 20 centimeters. So I use the mat to guide me. So about 20 centimeters and then height and then 46 centimeters across. So we just do it like that. And we roll. All the way across. Yeah. And then we just roll it into a log, like a sausage, or what's it? So into a sausage, like that. And then you obviously, if you've got this mat, do not cut on the mat with a knife. You'll cut right through, and then the fiberglass will actually stick into your dough, and then you're gonna have to chuck your mat. So you use either your the bowl scraper that you can get on the mix shop, or you use your spatula. And so I just go. You should be able to get 12 pieces out of this. So you go like this, 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 this. Yep. And you keep going, but again, due to time constraints, I've already done that. So then you grease your veroma, both the tray and the dish, and then you cut baking paper and you put it each one on a piece of baking paper. But you make sure that the crease is on the bottom. So you put the crease that way. And then that has to stand and prove while we make the soup. So I'm going to make the soup right now. So you'll see me making the soup, and then I'll do the, I'll just move that out of the way. Okay. Okay, so I'm skipping all the steps until the soup bit. So you can just scroll down. So you'll see the first part of your screen, and you click the down arrow, you skip, and I'll go to the butternut, the number 4 of the butternut squash soup. So it says 30 grams of unsalted butter. Okay. 30 grams. Next. And it's telling me 30 grams of yellow onion. Next. And then 400 grams of butternut squash, which is just butternut pumpkin. And it says cubed in 5 centimeters. So that's why mine's that big. Okay. Next. And then we're going to use high heat at this point. So we're removing the measuring cup and we'll put on the splash guard. And then that's going to cook for 4 minutes, Sandra. Did you want to go to someone else and then come back to me? Or?
Yeah, let's do that. So if you guys haven't seen the high heat function of the TM6 yet, this is a really big difference between the TM6 and the TM5. So it's called the high heat function, and it actually fries like a fry pan, and Ilham can show you what that looks like once those 4 minutes are up. Okay, so whilst that's happening, Kirsty, are you ready to go to the fish fillets with fresh corn polenta? Yes.
I am. So my water's actually boiling now, so I'm just going to throw remove your measuring cup, set VAROMA in position, and 10 minutes speed 1. So it shouldn't make too much noise. Fingers crossed. All right, so go back into my work again. So we've got our fish fillets with, there we go, fish fillets with fresh corn polenta. So this one's in the, what's it called? The actual VAROMA cookbook that we brought out. The flavours on every level or whatever it was called. I can't remember now, it's gone. But this one, a customer sent this to me the other day. She made it and she said all her kids ate this. It was amazing. So I'm giving it a shot. So I have hit start cooking, place fish fillets in a large bowl and set aside. Okay, a tablespoon of fish sauce, which I've already done because you do have to marinate this first. 2 teaspoons of toasted sesame oil. I just use normal sesame oil because I love that stuff. It's just amazing flavour. 7 to 8 sprigs of fresh dill, leaves only. Insert your measuring cup in your mixing bowl lid. Whiz it up for 5 seconds. Pour over fish fillets and turn gently to coat. So it's just, I don't know if you can see that. Oh my gosh, it looks amazing. Okay, on the smell. Oh, yep, yum. Can't wait to eat this. Place in a refrigerator, marinate for 30 minutes. Which, funnily enough, I only got ready at quarter to 8, so it's just been over half an hour. All right, clean and dry mixing bowl. Whew, how quick was that, right? Okay, peel 1 strip of zest from the orange and place it in the mixing bowl. So I have zested it. So I went a little bit crazy and I've just literally zested it. So I'm just going to chuck a chunk in there. So this is going to go more through the corn and everything as well. 500 grams of water. Oops. Again, probably something I should have weighed. $500. Oh, on the dot. This is a good night. All right, insert your measuring cup. Okay, so 5 seconds on speed 8. So that's just going to really blend it up. But I already did it anyway. So my way is quicker. Insert the simmering basket. So again, I have cheated a little. So that's flavoured that water as well. So insert simmering basket. Weigh 600 to 700 grams of sweet corn kernels. So I've already done that. Into the basket, lid closed, add the orange juice. So when you take all the rind off or the zest and you keep your orange juice. So that goes into your jug as well. Teaspoon of salt. So roughly that's a teaspoon. Place VAROMA dish into position. Put the lid on first. Oh, blonde moment. All right. 400 grams of mixed vegetables cut into slices. So I've cut mine up a little bit fancy and sliced it on a diagonal just to make it look a little prettier as well. Okay, so secure a little bit VAROMA lid and 15 minutes on speed 1. So once that's done, line your veroma tray with your baking paper. So if you've not seen these before, these are amazing. So you can buy them on the mix shop. So it's your veroma sheets. So there's literally, I think there's 24 sheets in each one, and they're $10. They're already pre-cut. So no worries about, you know, baking paper trying to get the right size. They just fit in perfectly. So for $10, it's just a lot of saved time as well. And you've got the ones with the holes, so that way the liquid drips through and it's ready to go. So 15 minutes of my veggies, and then when it comes back, we go into recipe detail and it will tell me steam for 11 to 13 minutes for our fish. So we put our fish in here and steam it for 11 to 13 minutes.
Okay, awesome, Kirsty. So when you finish with the fish, show us what it looks like in the end. Because, okay? You can't hear me?
I can hear. Yeah, I haven't cooked it yet.
No, I know. I said,
Yep.
So after it does the veggies, then throw in the fish, cook it, and then show us.
Yep, it'll be done by then. But these have got 5 minutes to go, so I'll give you a yell in 5 minutes.
Okay. All right,
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Okay, so now over to Mary, who's going to show us a 3-egg French omelette.
Sandra, can
Go,
I just-
Mary. Oh, sorry. Oh, yes, that's right. Ilham, forgot about you. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm just going to add the potatoes, 100 grams of russet potatoes, and then 60 grams of raw cashew. Oh, I was meant to show you the high heat, what it looks like. And then 700 grams of polenta. But yeah, it's actually high heat. It's like sautéing in a pan. So that's what it would look like, like brown and caramelized. And then 700 grams of water. Perfect. And then next, we're going to put our veroma in position. And then that will cook for 20 minutes, veroma temperature at speed 2. And that's me done. Thank you, Mary. Sorry.
All right, so we're going to do the 3-egg French omelette, which is actually a UK recipe, I'm pretty sure. So it's going to be in imperial as opposed to metric, which threw me today. But basically, what we're going to do is we start with the cheese. Actually, we start with the parchment paper. So as Kirsty said before, you can get these ones that are pre-cut and fit the veroma perfectly, and they're $10, which is totally worth it. So what you want to do is it says to wet it. So you'd either put it under the sink, but I've got a bowl of water here. So you just wet it and then squeeze the water out. Sorry, it tells you to cut it first, and then it says scrunch the parchment paper into a ball under running water, squeeze out excess water. So we just make sure we squeeze out all the water, and then we're going to pop it in the top of the veroma and set it aside. So it doesn't matter that you've scrunched it, it will still go back to normal and be able to fit it in there. So I kind of just make sure that it's even around the edges, and this one doesn't have the holes in it like Kirsty, so it'll catch the egg when you pop it all in there. So I'm just going to pop that aside. Okay, so it says Monterey Jack cheese or cheddar cheese, but I'm going to use Swiss cheese today. So I'm just going to pop that in, and it weighs it in ounces. So it's a little bit under, but I'm okay with that. So we go next. Insert measuring cup. So big spin to 8. It's just going to go down. That's pretty much done in 2 seconds. So I'm just going to stop it. We just pop that into a bowl, so that's done enough for me. I find it stops it from going into like a pasty consistency too. Just pop that aside. I don't rinse the bowl. It doesn't tell you to, and I didn't, and it was fine. So that's all that done. All right. Set that aside. So it says yellow onion. I don't actually have onion. We don't eat it. So I'm using leek instead. And I'm going to actually change up what I'm putting in it. So it says onion, garlic clove. I'm going to do 2. Instead of tomato, what did they have? Tomato, capsicum. I think that was the only different one. I'm going to chuck in some sweet potato and some zucchini. So I'm going to pop them in here so they get chopped. And it says to slice the mushroom, but I have a Thermomix and I don't really want to slice it. So I'm just going to chuck that in there as well. Actually, I'll take that out and I'll chop it in a minute. So we're going to go next. Big spin, 5 seconds. 3 seconds speed 5, sorry. And then it says red bell pepper, which is your capsicum, but we can't eat capsicum here, so that's why I've chucked the zucchini in instead. So I'm going to pop the mushroom in though. So go next, because I want that chopped. So speed 4. That should be enough. That's chopped that perfectly. So this is where you get to play with it. I hope you can see that. I'm not sure if you can. The light's not great. Sorry. So we go next, scrape down the sides. Button mushrooms already in there. To give you an idea too, the cheese was about 50 grams of cheese that we needed to put in there. And 1 mushroom is about 1 ounce, which is again 50 grams. I've got some parsley that I want to add to this one too, straight out of our garden. So I'm going to pop this in with the ham so that it mixes through. And I was going to pop some spinach in it too once it goes up the top. So tomatoes I'm leaving out, so I'm just going to skip it. Half an ounce of olive oil, so you want to go to when it says 0.5. Next, without measuring cup. So this is just going to saute it. So that's got 4 minutes. So Sandra, you want to go to Kirsty or someone else? Kirsty, yes.
Is anyone ready to go next?
Kirsty's ready if you want to go back to her, she said.
Who is, sorry?
Kirsty.
Kirsty? Okay, Kirsty, go for it. Actually, Kirsty, I'm going to start with my dish, get it going, and then you can show your cakes, if that's okay.
That's cool. Go for it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make the chicken skewers with cumin rice and warm vegetable salad. So this is off Cookie Dough as well. Now, I've already done the first bit, which was marinate the chicken. So basically, the marinade has some salt, it has some ground cumin, some ground sweet paprika, and some ground allspice. And then you put that in the bowl, and fry the spices for 5 minutes. And then once that's done, whilst it's doing that, you can cube the chicken and put it in skewers. And I've put 2 little cherry tomatoes on either end. Can you see that? And then once those spices are dry roasted, we're going to add brown onion, tomato paste, some fresh parsley, some water, a little bit of vinegar, and then that's all chopped up for 5 seconds or 10 seconds on speed 5. Then you have this beautiful marinade that you can see there. Now, it says to marinate it for like half an hour. I've done it. I did this afternoon. I think the longer you have it marinated, the better if you can. So that's why I did it earlier. So just to get some really nice flavor out of that. And then, so once that's done, our next step, we're going to do like a dressing for our steamed vegetables. So you're not going to eat them just steamed, you know. So we're going to add 50 grams of cherry tomatoes in the bowl. Okay. And we're going to add some 15 grams of white wine vinegar. I don't have white wine vinegar, so I'm just going to use some apple cider vinegar, which is what I normally put in my salads anyway. And it's just 15 grams. Then you want 20 grams of olive oil. I figured out to do 20 grams, I have to do 3 swirls. And I get exactly 20 grams. Oh my gosh. So now some salt. So half a teaspoon of salt. So this is your marinade for a salad basically. And a pinch of ground pepper. And some parsley. So 2 or 3 sprigs of parsley. I've actually got a little bit more because I love parsley. Just gives those steamed vegetables really nice freshness. And now we're going to chop that up for 10 seconds on speed 6. Just grab my measuring cup. Okay, so that's going to be poured over our steamed vegetables. So your olive oil, your apple cider vinegar, and it smells delicious. So there is our dressing. Okay. All right, so our next step, which I actually learned something new today. So if you guys don't know, I've been a consultant now for 7 years, I think. All right, there's our marinade. And I learned something new, something I never thought of doing, sorry. So, you know, when you cook rice and you have to wash your rice, what you do is put your rice in the basket, and we're going to add water, 500 grams of water, and we're going to wash the rice. So I normally do this under running water, but you can just do this in the bowl, and whatever was in that bowl there is just going to go through the rice. But it doesn't matter. It's going to give it flavour. So don't think that you have to wash your bowl every single time just because the recipe tells you to. Most of the times you don't need to. So 30 seconds on speed 7. I won't do 30 seconds because I've already washed the rice. So I thought I'd save a few seconds here. And then we just remove it. Okay, remove the rice. I'll pop that aside. We're going to empty the bowl. So that's actually cleaned the bowl for me as well. Okay, and now we're going to chop up some carrots because we're going to put some carrots with our rice. And the lid on, and that's just 5 seconds on speed 4.5. Okay, and we're going to put that in with the rice. All right, a nice carrot rice. You could add other things to it as well, but with this recipe actually has a lot of vegetables, which I'll show you in a moment. Actually, just had a look at the rice, and there's parsley bits through it, which I think would be really nice. That was from that marinade. And it says to mix well with the spatula. There we go. And so now we're going to add our water. So this is to steam. So we're going to put in, and if you don't measure your water, there's guides inside in the bowl that tell you it's got your ½ litre mark, 1 litre mark. All right, now it says to add salt, but instead of adding salt, I'm going to add some vegetable stock, and I won't add the salt. All right, because I just think it adds more flavour. If you've got vegetable stock, then use it. Simmering basket in there. Now we're going to add the veroma dish in position, and it's back here. And here I have 600 grams of beautiful vegetables ready to be steamed. Okay, oops, lid on as well. I just chucked a Kirsty there. All right, lid on. And then next thing, we're going to add baking paper on our veroma tray. And let me just make some room. So I've got a laptop in the way. And we're going to, so I've done all that. All right, we're going to put the chicken onto the veroma tray. So I've got 5 big ones here. Okay, and it fits perfectly. And I'm just going to do this to the edges because I don't want to lose those juices, because these juices, I want to mix them through the rice at the end. I think it would add amazing flavour. Okay, so we just do that, and now that's going to cook for 20 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like at the end of those 20 minutes. Thank you. Okay, so Val, if you'd like to go next. Kirsty.
Can I really quickly just show my bit? Because literally
yes.
what I have to do is pop it back on. So I've it said to tip out all the vegetables that had been cooked. So I've done that and just spread them around the veroma. So now we're going to pop 3 large eggs in. So you don't have to wait for the bowl to cool down either. So 3 large eggs. I always crack them in a separate bowl just to make sure that there's no bad ones. Because it'd be my luck, it'd be the 3rd one. I use almond milk, so I don't think it doesn't need to be dairy if you don't have dairy, just a teaspoon as a guess. Next. So just a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Pop the lid on, measuring cup on. This is going to do 10 seconds. It's just going to mix it. And then we're just going to pour the egg over and kind of stir it through. And then we're going to pop it on top and steam it. So transfer beaten eggs to veroma tray with vegetables, gently mix with spatula. And then we're going to put water in and steam it. So Kirsty, if you want to go, you can go. Literally just pour it over like that. And then spread it all out. So I've popped the spinach on top as well. So the spinach hasn't been cooked yet. It's just going to be steamed. That's it.
Looks fantastic. Well done, Mary. Yum. Might have to come over tomorrow and try some.
If there's any left.
All right, so my veggies are done. So I'm just going to hit next. And this is where I put it says arrange drained marinated fish fillets on prepared veroma tray. Remove veroma and insert veroma tray. So that's just going to go in there. And then place veroma back into position, secure the lid and 11 minutes. So I've chucked in a few prawns as well, just to make it look, I like prawns. And if I'm cooking fish, I might as well cook prawns because I'm going to get whinged at because of the smell. So yeah, 11 minutes on speed 1. While that's going, these are finished. And look how amazing they look. Yum. And they are really soft and fluffy. So ready, look. Oh, yum. Already eaten half of one, so they are really, really nice. But yeah, jump on and have a look at the Asian book. There's heaps of stuff in there, or heaps of the cupcakes in there, but they're absolutely beautiful. So 11 more minutes. I think we're going to, who's next? Are you next, Val?
I'm next.
Val's next, yes. Bye, Val.
Thanks, Kirsty. Hi, everyone. Today I'm making the carrot feta and mint salad. So to start off, we're going to start off with making the dressing. So we're going to need 2 garlic cloves, 3½ sprigs of fresh mint, just the leaves only. And we're going to put the lid on and chop the garlic and the mint for 3 seconds on speed 7. So we're just going to scrape down the sides. I'll just show you. That's our chopped garlic and mint. We'll just scrape down the sides, and then we're going to add 40 grams of lemon juice. Just flip it over. We're going to add 50 grams of extra virgin olive oil. Okay. Here we go. Now we're also going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of paprika, 1 teaspoon of sea salt, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground black pepper. So that's just that there. Just insert that all. Okay. So now we're going to mix all this up. This is going to be the dressing. And we're going to mix that on speed 6 for 3 seconds. So that's the dressing there. So we just need to transfer this. to another bowl. Okay. So without cleaning the mixing bowl, we're going to add 500 grams of water. Sorry guys, it's just a bit of an emergency happening upstairs. Okay. So we've added the water. Now we're going to place the veroma onto the position. And with that, we're going to be weighing 700 grams of Dutch baby carrots. So I've already done that. So I've already put it on both the tray and the actual bowl. So we're going to skip that step there. And we're just going to pop the veroma lid on top. And we're going to cook it for 13 minutes on speed 1. So Sandra, I don't know if anyone's due to come back. You want to come back in about
There.
Well, go, Sue.
Here we go. There's our chicken and veggies cooked all in one. This is how it come out of the, and I just cut the glad wrap off and sliced it up. So there's dinner for tomorrow night.
Sue, that looks absolutely delicious.
I'll make the sauce tomorrow night. It is. Smells so good. It's a shame we haven't got smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision. Good one. Okay, thank you, Sue. Thanks for that. Okay, has anyone else finished one of their dishes? No? Okay. So last up, I've got the cheesecake in jars that I want to show you. So I've actually got some here pre-made so you can see what they look like in the end. Okay. So these actually are yogurt jars that you can buy from the mix shop. And I thought these would be perfect for cheesecake in jars. So I'm just going to do the first step to show you how it's done, because it was actually the first time I made these today because they did sound really delicious, and they are. Like, they've been a hit with the family today. So it's called cheesecake in jars, and we're gonna do the base first, like the biscuit base. So we're gonna add unsalted butter, so 20 grams of unsalted butter in the bowl. And I've made some adjustments to this recipe, which I'll share with you. Now, it says 40 grams of digestive biscuits. I didn't have them. You can use whatever biscuits you have. These are just Arnott's chocolate biscuits in there. And 20 grams of nuts. With this batch, I use pistachio and almonds. This time I've just got almonds. So almonds in there. You can use any kind of nuts. If you don't want to use nuts, you can use seeds as well, like sunflower seeds, and some brown sugar. So just 20 grams of brown sugar. Now, this recipe makes 6 of these, 6 little jars. Okay, and now we're just going to chop all that up. So 10 seconds on speed 7. Okay, and then what I did is I divided the mix in 6. So I wanted to know exactly how much crumb mix I should put in each one. And it was, I think, 15 grams in each little jar, just so they all had the same amount in the bottom. All right, so our mix is done. I can put it back in this bowl. Okay. Now, these jars are quite tall. So you're thinking, well, how are you going to get that crumb? And I came up with a solution. How are you going to, press it down because you can't get your finger in there. So our spatula, our trusty old spatula. So you just press it down, and you don't need to be too firm. I think with my first ones, I was too firm, and you really have to press down with the spoon to get into it. So there's one. I'll show you another one. Okay. Try not to be messy like me. And then, yeah, just press it down with the spatula. Now, when you do the cream cheese mix, so basically it's cream cheese, thickened cream, some sugar, and some vanilla, and you've got your filling. So when you put your filling in the jars, don't go all the way to the top. Just go halfway, because they do rise quite a bit whilst it's steaming, and then when it cools, it actually then comes back down. So back to where I started, or just a little bit more to where I started from. Now, the recipe continues on to make a raspberry or a mixed berry coulis to put on top. Now, some of you may know already, I've got very fussy children. So instead of doing the mixed berry coulis, which I would love, I've actually just, once this cooled down, I actually put a little layer of jelly, so strawberry jelly. And I think that would go very well with the chocolate base with a strawberry jelly topping. And then you just pop it back in the fridge, let it set, and you're good to go. And there's your little cheesecake jars. So give them a go. They're absolutely delicious. So I had my kids try it and they were a thumbs up, which is good. Okay, so I think we're done with presenting. We just want to know if there are any dishes that are finished and ready to show.
Ready to go. Perfect timing.
Okay, oh, awesome.
Okay, so tell us the aroma from the. Actually, let's do it this way. Let's take it off. And look at how that buns actually all grew. Oh my goodness. Let me actually move my light down so you can see that. Look at that. It's so good. Okay, let me move it aside. Okay, now it tells me to add salt to the just add white pepper, just a taste. Yes, and then we're just going to blend that for 1 minute. So, and then that will be the soup, the end of it. So I'll plate it up and I'll show you guys what it looks like in the end.
Okay, anyone else ready to show? Let's see, Kirsty, Ilhan, Mary, Sue's done.
I'll have a quick chat. So my husband this afternoon, I bought some cheap brisket. So he's used the meter and he's done this in the oven. Oh my God. That's the it's brisket we did this today in the oven with the meter. Amazing. Oh my God, I just want to lick it. Just is there any
Well, it's delicious. So
Yeah.
you use the meter, which the meter is part of one of our bundles this month. So you can get, help me out here, Kirsty, because I can't remember, is it $89?
$89.
On top of the Thermomix, you can get the meter
toolkit?
and it was a meter and something else.
Kitchen toolkit.
Yeah, the
Sorry, the kitchen toolkit. Thank you. Had a bit of a mind blank there.
You did say
So for those of you who don't know what the meter is a little gadget that you can put it into your meat. It connects to your phone, and then from your phone you choose, you tell it exactly what you're cooking, and then it tells you when it's ready. Your phone will beep at you to tell you when it's ready. Perfect, thank you. Thanks, Mary. And it tells you exactly how long that it needs to rest as well. So it's a great companion for the Thermomix of when you're cooking meat, and you can use the meter in the VAROMA, in the oven, on the barbecue, anywhere really. So that's our purchase bundle this. Oh, could you try again? Shush. That's our purchase bundle this month, and we also have another bundle where you can get the oval thermo server and the blade cover, which is great for slow cooking, for an extra $39. Do you want to show the toolkit, Mary?
Yeah, so you've got, this is your toolkit. It comes in a great little package, and it's actually really good for camping. If you're a camper, it's actually really good to take camping too, if you wanted to. You've got can you see all this properly? Ice cream scoop. This is amazing for taking seeds out of a pumpkin. You just like scrape it out because it's sharp, it takes it out really well. You've got your peeler. It's great for julienning. You've got a butter spreader or a spreader. And then you've got 2 really great sharp knives in here, 2 of them. And then you've got your scissors. So you can actually cut a chicken, like a cooked chicken, with them as well. And they've got a little nutcracker in them.
I love that toolkit. I take it on holidays all the time. So we usually say it's like service departments or service cabins, and we're like, they never have sharp knives in the drawer. So it's really handy. And the oval thermosaver is great. So once my vegetables are cooked, they go in here and then they can stay hot for hours. So really good tool to have with the Thermomix, especially when you have to do one thing, for instance, your rice, and then you're going to do your curry. You pop your rice in the thermosaver and it keeps it hot. So when your curry's ready, you're ready to go. Okay, so I still have, yeah. Oh, that's the blade cover as well. Great for slow cooking. Yeah. Exactly. So there are 2 bundles this month. If you want more information on that, speak to your consultant or speak to me if you don't have a consultant, and I can put you in touch with someone in our team for more information. And yeah, so I've still got a few minutes to go on mine.
5 seconds left.
Oh, great. So you can go up next, Mary.
Let me just mine.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So the last step, remove simmering basket with the aid of the spatula. So if you're about to empty it out, open the lid first. Then put your spatula in there. Okay, empty the mixing bowl. So just tip that out. Transfer steamed sweet corn kernels into the mixing bowl. So this is how it turns it into like a polenta. We hit next, a little bit of salt, 20 grams of unsalted butter. Or don't put the salt in and use salted butter. There's another option. 20 grams of unsalted butter. 15 will do. Insert the measuring cup in the mixing bowl lid, and then we're just going to blend it. So it actually kind of resembles polenta. So speed 6, 30 seconds, and then we're done. All right, transfer steamed vegetables onto a serving bowl and season with salt and butter. Serve the sweet corn polenta with fish fillets and steamed vegetables. So it actually looks like polenta, if you can see that. You just do your little scoop onto your bowl, onto your plate. That looks incredible. So it's got the fish on there, the vegetables, the little prawns on top. And that's the finished product. Gorgeous.
That looks delicious.
I know, right?
And very healthy too.
Sorry?
And very healthy as well. I love how all these
Very.
recipes are super healthy.
Well, steaming is the best way to cook your veggies as well. It keeps all the flavour and the colour and everything in. Beautiful.
And that's it. And steaming with the Thermomix, it steams at a very low temperature, which is just when water heats, when water gets to boiling, which is 120 degrees, 130 degrees. So steaming at low temperatures just ensures that whatever you're steaming, especially in vegetables, all those vitamins and nutrients are going to stay there. They're not going to be cooked off like, from your traditional steamer. Okay. How are you going?
I'm finished.
Mary, yeah.
I'm finished.
Okay.
So it does tell you to cook it again, but I actually feel like this is good. So I'm actually going to leave mine now and just pop the cheese on top. I am generally dairy free, so if I wanted to put a dairy free cheese on it, I would put this macadamia parmesan that I make. I am going to put cheese on it because I wanted to show you what it looks like. This is tons of cheese too, by the way. So if you wanted to do it with less cheese, you could put less cheese on, because I feel like it is actually a lot of cheese. So you spread it over the top. And then we're just going to fold it over. As I said, it does tell you to cook it again, but I just think it's going to overcook it and make the egg tough. So I spread that out. And then I am actually going to put a little bit of my parmesan sprinkle on. just for a little bit of extra flavour. And that's just made with macadamia, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds, nutritional yeast, and onion powder. It's really delicious, a really good alternative. And then all we're going to do is fold it over, grab your spatula and do it with your spatula, and just fold it over like that. And then it says to pop chives on top of it. So I'm just going to pop this in the bowl like so, and then pop some chives on top. Move that. And then you're done. So that's it.
Mary, do you know what I was thinking? That looks so much easier than when we do it on a fry pan.
I know, right? When you're
You know,
always
having to fold it.
always trying to flip it, and it always breaks and goes everywhere.
Goes everywhere. Yeah. I love it because now that looks absolutely perfect.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's delicious as well.
It's pretty big too. So like,
You know what? That's going to be my breakfast tomorrow morning.
it's so nice to it. And you can mix up the vegetables too that go in it. Like you don't have to have what they have in it. You can mix it up, just use it as a base, like step by step to make your own omelette.
With what you have. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. How are you going, Ilham? Are you ready?
Yep, I'm done. Look at all my buns. What am I going to do with all these buns? Heaps of buns going here. So anybody's welcome to come over. That's my buns, and then that's the soup. Can you see that? I don't want it to go all over my.
That soup looks super creamy.
So I can get all it's the potatoes. It's because there's no cream in there. It's water, potatoes.
Yeah. Yeah. I've also seen pumpkin soup with cashews.
Yeah, that's in there. There's cashews in there. That's what's making it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry, I must have missed that. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's a secret to make it really creamy without adding cream. So if you're dairy free, it's amazing. Yeah.
That's me.
Okay. And Val, how are you going with your feta salad, carrot and feta salad?
Okay, so the carrots have just finished steaming. So I'm just plating them up onto a plate, and I'm going to pour the dressing on top. But it's very important that you leave the carrots to cool down for about 20 minutes before you garnish it with the feta cheese and the mint leaves as well. So I can, depending on how time is, if I've got enough time and it's cooled down, I'll be able to plate it up and show you what it looks like. If we run out of time, I will take some photos and show you guys what it looks like once it's all cooled down.
So my dish is almost done. So we're almost at the end. So I've got my steamed vegetables here. And look at the colour. I just love the colour of steaming in the veroma. And whilst it's still warm, we're going to add the marinade. So remember, it was just cherry tomatoes, parsley, vinegar, but you could add lemon if you want, olive oil, salt and pepper. And that's just going to be poured on top. So whilst it's hot, and then it just grabs all those beautiful juices. Okay, and give it a mix. And that way it's not just saying, you know, I'm losing vegetables. It's not just, you know, you're boring all steamed vegetables. So, and that's what I love about the Thermomix recipes. There's always a twist, usually like a different twist to, you know, to make it different. And I can tell you, that smells really, really nice. Okay, so that's done. And if we were to eat that later, that would still be really nice and hot. So winter's coming. And if you guys know, like when you steam veggies, they cool down really quickly. So having a thermoserver is really, really handy. All right, so I'm going to show you the rice and I'm going to show you the chicken. So when you use your veroma, use the lid as a tray. Okay. Now I'm just going to check if that's cooked or if it needs a little bit more time. Just burnt my finger. Very hot, so just be careful. So I'm just going to check. And that is definitely cooked. I can tell already. And so there is I'll pop this on a plate so you can see what it looks like. And I want to grab the juices from this baking paper to stir through the rice, because I think it's going to be full of flavour. All right, so that marinade is still on there. I'm getting a steam facial here right now. Okay, so there we go. And if you wanted to, you know, to give this some color, you can just chuck it under the grill very quickly if you wanted to. I'm not going to do that because I can tell from the smell that it's delicious. And here is our rice, which has been cooked perfectly. And I learned something else today, which is to open the lid before you put your spatula, because I never open the lid. I love that tip. All right, so there's our perfectly cooked rice. Now I'm going to get a bowl for that. And I'm going to mix through the juice. I'm such a messy cook. Oh my gosh. Thank goodness for Thermomix. So I actually only did 200 grams. Actually, I did less. The recipe said 200 grams of rice, but this is so much. Anyway, so pop that aside. And now I'm just going to pour some of those juices in there somehow without making a mess, which is impossible with me. All right, here we go. All right, and then those juices will just be absorbed. So the recipe doesn't tell you to do that, by the way. This is just me. I always do something different with the recipes. The recipe actually says to put cumin seeds through the rice, but if I did that, my kids wouldn't eat the rice. So I thought, you know what, those juices from that chicken is going to be really yummy. So I didn't want to chuck it. Okay, let me make some room so I can showcase all that I've done. All right, so beautiful steamed veggies with the dressing, the chicken, skewers, and the rice. So this was all done in one go. Look at all that. It makes heaps. Hang on, you can't see that, can you? Can you see that? There we go. And we're done. And we'll take photos of all of these and we'll, oh no, we're not done because we're waiting for Val. Sorry. We'll take photos of all of this and we'll share it with you as well.
I plated it up. It's actually cooled down quite quickly. So I've plated it up with the feta and the extra mint leaves. So that's your carrot, feta and mint salad with the dressing.
Now, guys, this is a crowd pleaser, this salad. I've taken it many times to barbecues and it's a huge, huge hit. It's absolutely delicious.
The dressing.
So thanks for presenting that one.
The dressing is beautiful. Like,
yeah.
All of it is just unbelievable. Really nice.
All right, awesome. Well, we're done. We're just over 9 o'clock. Woohoo! Awesome. So thank you, team, for putting on an awesome class again. And as promised, we will email everyone the links to all the recipes, our photos as well. I'll attach it on the email. And then if you have any questions, just get in touch with your consultant or get in touch with me if your consultant isn't on tonight, and we can help you with whatever you need. Awesome. Well, thank you again for joining us. We are going to pop the recording of this class on our YouTube channel as well. So look out for that. I'll pop a link to that on the email. Look out for our Facebook page called the Blade Runners Events. We've got another event coming up in 2 weeks, which is our basics cooking class, where we can show you how to make mayonnaise, how to make butter. So all the basics of Thermomix. So that's our next class right at the end of the month on the 30th. 8 p.m. on Zoom. So, and I'll pop that information as well into your email. So thank you again, everyone, for joining. Have a great week.